What if I told you that it only takes 3 simple mistakes to go from being an amateur swimmer to becoming a professional? Well, in this video, we're going to talk about exactly what those 3 mistakes are. But be careful, because they're so sneaky that you might even be making them right now without even realizing it. I'm the head coach of a swimming academy where we specialize in helping swimmers add yards and shave seconds. And today, we're going to discuss how you can become a professional swimmer by avoiding these 3 mistakes. Mistake number 1 is trying to fit swimming into your life. If you really want to take your swimming to the next level, then you need to do everything you possibly can to make swimming the center of your life. Because trust me when I say this, swimming is one of the hardest sports out there. You know, at the elite level, the best way to illustrate just how hard the sport is at the highest levels is to use the analogy of running. If you were to compare Usain Bolt to a normal person, they would look like completely different species. In fact, Usain Bolt could probably beat you in a race even if he was on crutches. Similarly, the top swimmers in the world would probably be able to swim faster than you even if they were completely blind. That's how big the gap is between the best in the world and the average swimmer. And that's why you need to make swimming the center of your life if you really want to compete with the best. So let's talk about how you can do this. The first thing you need to do is get rid of any bad habits that you have that are keeping you from being able to focus on swimming. Do you stay up late playing video games or scrolling through social media? Well, if you really want to become a professional swimmer, then you need to cut that out immediately. You also need to make sure that you're eating clean and getting plenty of rest. After all, the body does most of its repairing and growing while you're sleeping. So make sure that you're getting at least 8 hours of sleep every night. Finally, you need to make sure that you're training smart in the pool. This means that you need to be working on your weaknesses and not just doing what you feel like doing. A great way to do this is to work with a coach who can help you develop a training plan that meets your specific needs. Another important thing to keep in mind is that you need to be willing to sacrifice some of the things that are important to you. For example, if you love playing basketball but you realize that it's keeping you from being able to train for swimming, then you need to be willing to give up basketball. Now, that doesn't mean that you can never play basketball again, but you need to be willing to put it on the back burner for now so that you can focus on swimming. Becoming a professional swimmer takes a lot of dedication and sacrifice, but if you're willing to put in the work, then it can be done. The second mistake that many swimmers make is trying to do everything themselves. Now, this often happens after a swimmer has had success with one part of their training, but then tries to apply that same strategy to other areas of their training. For example, let's say that you've had success adding distance by following the 1% Faster program. Then you decide that you want to try to add strength by doing more volume. So instead of lifting weights 3 times a week, you start lifting weights every day. Now the problem with this is that you're applying a strategy that worked for one area of your training to another area of your training. But the thing is, different areas of training require different strategies. What works for one area may not work for another. For example, when it comes to adding distance, the best strategy is usually to slowly increase your yardage over time. This gives your body time to adapt to the increased workload, and it also helps you to build a strong aerobic base. On the other hand, when it comes to adding strength, the best strategy is to lift weights twice a week and focus on progressively increasing the weight load. This helps you to build muscle mass and strength, which will translate into faster swimming times. One of the biggest mistakes that swimmers make is that they try to apply the same strategies to all areas of their training. They think that if adding distance works, then it should also work for adding strength. But the truth is that different areas of training require different strategies. So if you want to get faster, stronger, and more injury-free, then you need to work with a coach who can help you develop a training plan that meets your specific needs. The third and final mistake that keeps swimmers from reaching the next level is being afraid to ask for help. Now, there are 2 reasons why swimmers are afraid to ask for help. The first reason is that they don't want to appear weak. They think that if they ask for help, then it will make them look like they're not strong enough. But the truth is that everyone needs help sometimes, even the best swimmers in the world. Michael Phelps didn't become the most decorated Olympian of all time by doing everything himself. He had a whole team of coaches, trainers, and support staff helping him every step of the way. The second reason why swimmers are afraid to ask for help is that they simply do not know who to ask. They may not have a coach, or they may not have access to the resources that they need. Now, if you're struggling to find a coach, then I recommend checking out our website. We have a network of experienced and qualified coaches who can help you take your swimming to the next level. Now, regardless of whether you're a beginner or an elite athlete, asking for help is a sign of strength, not weakness. Some of the best swimmers in the world are constantly reaching out to their network of coaches and experts for advice and support. They know that even though they're at the top of their game, they can always improve, and they're not afraid to ask for help along the way. You shouldn't be afraid to reach out to your teammates, your coaches, or other experts in the field for advice and support. Asking for help is a sign of strength, not weakness, and with the right people in your corner, you can achieve anything you set your mind to in swimming. If you guys enjoyed this video and you like the tips that I shared with you, then make sure you check out this video next. I think that you'll really like it. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.